Every single one of us is going to have parts of the body graph that are colored in. And by the way, the colors are always the same. The colors do not change. There's no good color, bad color, or improving your color. If a center is filled in, or colored in, or defined, it's going to always have the same color. And if it's not, if it's open, it'll be white. So whatever is defined in us, whatever is colored in, is fixed and reliable. We can depend on that energy. And as you'll see in a few moments, it is from this definition, what's fixed and reliable in us, that the magnetic monopole is, is developing this signal that comprises our strategy and authority, our unique decision-making process, your unique decision-making process, for navigating through life. That signal is going to come from whatever is defined, what's fixed and reliable in your design. So it's like, do you want to make decisions in your life that's based on energy that you can depend on, or on energy that is not dependable in your life? I think that the answer is pretty clear. You would want to make decisions that you can consistently trust. That's always going to come from your definition. And this is the life force that you're here to express. Our openness, every single one of us has openness, whether it shows up in a channel, a gate, or in open centers. But this is where we are receptive. And this is also where we've been open to conditioning in our lives. We receive in our openness, and especially when we were young, but even as adults in our lives moving through the world, our openness is where we become conditioned by other and also by the planetary transits and the global consciousness program that is a sea of information that we're all moving around in all the time. So our openness, it can actually shift and fluctuate as we move through different auric fields, as the transits move around, as we interact with different people and different environments. These energies can actually turn on and off for us. But what's happening in our open and receptive centers is that the voice that comes to us from our consciousness in these centers is amplified 200%. And so the voice of our conditioning can come to us through our open centers in an amplified voice that becomes louder than what's fixed and reliable in us. This is another reason that this system is so valuable, is because the conditioning field on the planet is just very, very strong for a number of reasons. The conditioning that we've received from our parents as we're young in our family of origin and our home environment coming at us 200%. And then we go out into the world and we've got these voices that are amplified, that are not who we are. This is not who we are. The defined, the colored in, that's who we are. That's what we can rely on. That's the definition that makes us unique. The openness, we can't rely on that except over time to give us awareness. So openness isn't empty. At first, when we're young, it's full of conditioning. That conditioning can cause us to try to climb into the driver's seat, usurp the magnetic monopole, and make decisions from energy that is totally unreliable and inconsistent for us. Meaning, you make a decision one day, and then maybe a day, or it could be a week or a few months later, you're called on to follow through with that decision, and the energy has moved on. It's totally changed, and you don't feel in alignment with that decision anymore. And so what happens is that our trust in ourselves erodes over time. And then we become just very confused and discombobulated, and we're still trying to operate from these open centers and make decisions from energy that isn't us, but we don't trust ourselves as much. So these voices of the definition of strategy and authority we're totally wiping them out. We're writing it off because now we're looking outside of ourselves. Our conditioning is compelling us to look outside of ourselves and look to the people that are conditioning us through these centers, the things that we think we don't have. We haven't developed the awareness about it yet. As long as we don't have the awareness, we're driven by our conditioning and we are dismissing the voice of our strategy and authority. And we're living a life filled with resistance. It's very uncomfortable.